Hi everyone, back in the garage. Just wanted to do another video interlinked to the previous videos I've done really, which were focusing on sort of crypto mindset, managing emotions within crypto, and also sort of talking about the different kind of crypto journeys. So are you a trader? Are you a longer term investor like me? And this next bit I want to talk about probably goes without saying that it's part of it, but it's maybe just overlooked a little bit and not really talked about too much. And it is patience in crypto. Sounds easy to be patient, put your money into something that you've looked into, and then just wait. And yeah, great. It's the easiest thing in the world, but it isn't, because you're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting. You might be looking and seeing other projects starting to do really well, and the project you're in might just be sort of sitting still and just going sideways. And that's not a bad thing, but it can sort of play on your mind a little bit. And you hear all the time about people, and I've done it personally, jump out of something because nothing's happening and jump into something else. And then what happens? The old sod's law again, which I spoke about before, which is basically typical. As soon as you get out of it, it goes up. And it's all about sort of just trying to not marry your bag, not be sort of tied to your bag to the point where you won't sell it. Obviously, if things are going wrong with a project, or you don't like the way it's sort of moving, in what direction it's moving in since you invested in it, there's some material change to the project or whatever it is, if you're not happy with it, by all means, it's your money, it's your choice to sort of leave that project. But what I'm talking about here is more fundamentally when everything's exactly the same as when you invested, but it's just not doing as much as you hoped at that period in time, to then be jumping out of it and going into something else. And don't get us wrong, if you jump out of something that's done well, take a percentage out and roll it into something that then does well, that's how you make mega money. You basically just rolling profits into more profits, and that's the snowball effect of how people can make a lot of money from very little. And that is basically, if you're getting into crypto now and you're sort of looking into crypto, it has to be, I think, bar none, the one sort of genre where you can make a small amount of money turn into a massive amount of money. Outside of, the traditional going to the bookmakers and putting your money on a horse, but that's just a total gamble, really. This is the next thing that where you can make serious money from small money. Don't get us wrong, like normal investing, stock market, S&P 500, all these things do well, but they don't do well that quick. It takes a while for these things to happen. So yeah, the trade-off, I guess, is there's more volatility in crypto. If you put your money in the S&P 500, you're not going to lose all of it by next week. If you put your money into some crypto degen play, you could lose it all by next week. So that's why you have to be, and the phrase is, content to lose the money that you put in. And it's easier said than done. No one wants to lose money. Everyone gets that. But you really do have to have the mindset, I guess, that once you put the money in, just imagine it's gone. So if you, it's the type of person who will be worried about it, checking it during the night, and it causes you sort of stress, anxiety, all those things, and I've been through all of these things as well. So speaking from experience, then maybe crypto might not be for you, or it might be for you, but it's seriously small stakes. And then you can sort of see how you go, and can you overcome your anxiety, can you overcome the issues of the worry, and or do you just stay at small stakes? And that's fine as well. Obviously, if you turn £10 or $10 into £150 or $150, then you're winning, aren't you? Obviously, your mind can be sort of clouded a bit when you're seeing someone turn 10,000 or 150,000, but you just have to sort of be relative to the game that you're playing. If you're playing small stakes, you can't be realistically expecting massive amounts of life-changing money. So that it's kind of up to every individual to find where they sit within what they're comfortable doing, and what they're not comfortable, and what causes them too much sort of pain and stress, so that they're flipping out about it. And that's, you don't want to do that. No one needs any unnecessary stress in their life when there's already the daily stresses of just life in general. You know, everything, the price of everything going up, kids, family, there's always something to worry about, isn't there? So you don't need any extra on your plate. But yeah, I just wanted to sort of touch on, if you've bought into something and you done your research beforehand, obviously goes without saying, and you're happy with it, and you bought into it, and it's maybe not doing anything right this minute, it's kind of like you just have to give it time. Some of these things like take quite a while, and then they go, and that's it. And it's, no one knows really when these things would be. Otherwise, everyone would just sit on the sidelines, know when it's coming up, put the money in, make a fortune, jobs are good. But in reality, that's not how it works. You see in the news, or in crypto places, on blogs, Twitter, wherever, someone turns like $17 into 1.4 million or something with some random meme coin. Yeah, but that's one person out of however many millions of people that are actually in crypto. So it's basically the same as winning the lottery, isn't it? Which I know everyone would like that to be them, but the chances of it being them are slim to almost none, more or less. So yeah, it's just about sort of having realistic expectations, being patient, blocking out all the rubbish that you hear. Try not to look too much into everything all of the time, and try not to like force something to try and happen, because it doesn't. And what's the saying? If you watch a kettle boil, it takes longer if you're waiting for it. So it's just, do something else, enjoy yourself, enjoy your life, get on with whatever you're doing, and just keep linking back in and checking on the progress. We're getting hung up on things. It's honest, it's not the way to do it. You can get yourself tied up in knots. So my point of view, what I've done, and I've touched on this previously in I think my first video and a couple others maybe, is I've got very small bets on many plays. So spread very thin with a very small amount of money. But if one of them is that one that turns $17 into $1 million, and it's not going to be, let's face it, but you can always live in hope. But there's no reason why your $10 couldn't go to like 1,000 or more sometimes. Then yeah, the hope is that the ones that fall by the wayside are less than the ones that do well. Then obviously you're up and you're in profit. But it's a learning curve for everybody, and anyone you watch that like sort of indicates they know what's happening and they know where it's going, and it's bluff basically, because nobody really does. So yeah, that's just what I wanted to make another video on, just to tie all the pieces together. You've got the mindset, you've got the investing. Do you just buy and flip, or do you buy and hold? Do you have that PPP sort of attitude? Do you get yourself into a good community, something like a TCAT, a TSE, a Ton Turbo, Rising Tide, these projects that are, they've got the PPP narrative built into them, and they are all about embracing the community and having everyone win, and they're not about just turning a quick buck around and then people dumping the project. So it's basically a long-term play. That is the bottom line, and that is my take on my investing sort of strategy. I will do long-term investments, and then in time they could very well be the ones that absolutely go beyond belief, go higher than anyone's wildest dreams. And because everybody, well, the vast majority hopefully of the people invested within those projects are of the similar mindset, then that gives it more sort of backing and more power behind it to go on and really achieve something great. So yeah, the mad rush to the bull run hopefully is coming. There seems to be things that are flipping up every now and again, and Bitcoin's going up and down, a bit more crazy than what it possibly previously has. Seems like the demographic, the journey seems to have changed a little bit. Is that down to the ETFs? Maybe. Is it down to all the unrest in the world? Well, there was unrest at all other times. Is it down to the Trump factor? If he gets in, is it going to go wild? There's all sorts of stuff sort of bubbling under the surface. No one really knows, but when prices are down and the fear and greed index is fearful, for me, that is the time, not financial advice, that you can make the more profitable moves. If you buy something when it's lower, obviously stands to reason, doesn't it? You buy something for a penny rather than buying something for 10 pennies, and it goes to £10, you've made a lot more than what you have if you bought it for 10 pennies. So fairly straightforward. It's not an exact science. It's basically find something, invest into it as you see fit to your risk tolerance and your amount of money ratio tolerance, then have the patience and just wait. And basically it's more or less a waiting game, and that's it. Basically, it's not rocket science by any stretch, but it does seem to be too much information in the market sometimes is a bad thing, I think. So there's millions of people telling you it's going to do this, it's going to do that. It's their opinion, but if you take too much of it on board yourself, you can get all sort of a bit flustered and not knowing what's going on. So it's just about trying to have your own clear path and cracking on and doing it, and hopefully being successful. People are, so why can't you be? That's the bottom line, isn't it? So yeah, good stuff. I'm going to leave it here and not make the video too long. Thanks guys, and hopefully if you comment, if I would like people to comment, subscribe, like, share, all the things, and ideally some comments if people don't mind. Are these beneficial, or am I wasting my time, or what's what, pretty much? And I'll continue on. Thanks very much. Bye bye.